Hey, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the purpose of a marketing strategy. Stick around if you can. I'll probably be starting probably like in about 2 or 3 minutes. Welcome. So today we're going to talk about the purpose of a marketing strategy. If you plan to stick around and kind of learn how you can make sense of some of your marketing efforts, so you can see more results and kind of understand some of the mistakes people make. Stick around. Usually we'll be done around like 2:30, 2:45. But if you're going to stick around, let me know. If you have a business, what your business does, what's your favorite marketing tactic, as I guess you could say. Just let me know you're here. We'll start in about, like I said, 2 to 3 minutes. I want to see if I can share this to a personal page. And put this on mute. I am so hot. Hey, Jessica. Glad you can join. As I mentioned, I think you already know, we're going to be talking about the purpose of a marketing strategy. We're going to start in about 2 minutes now. If you can, Jessica, just type, what business or nonprofit you have, and maybe what's your favorite marketing tactic that you currently use, that you enjoy using. I am going to see if I can share this. Here we go. And can you hear me? I'm actually wearing a new piece today. I'm trying something different. Can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me. If not, I'll take it off. Welcome. Hey, Jamar. Hey, Cuz. All right, today we're going to be talking about the purpose of a marketing strategy and some of the mistakes that some people make and the way you can overcome it. I see you, Keontae Hodge. Welcome. I'm gonna start in about 1 minute. Let me see if I can share this to my page. All right, the purpose of a marketing strategy. And I'm going to bear with me. I tried to get on here early so I can get this situated. 1 second here. It's echoing. All right, thank you. All right, let's try this. Jessica, is it better now? I was trying to try something new with the headset and everything, because telling on myself, I live like in a duplex, like an apartment. Well, it's an apartment building with 3 apartments. And one of the little, what do you call those things? Smoke detectors down in the basement or something. I tried to change the button, it's still beeping. So I figure if I put on the headset, you guys might not be able to hear it. But let me know if this sounds better, Jessica. I don't know why I can't. Is it not sharing to my page? What is going on? One moment. And I'm going to get this started. So once again, if you're just joining, you're planning to stick around. If you have a business, let me know what business you have and what's your favorite marketing, tactic that you use. If you have a nonprofit, state your nonprofit. And once again, what's your favorite marketing tactic? All right, if this don't work right now, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to, here we go, share to Jessica, does it sound better? Is it still echoing? I don't know why this is not sharing. I'm about to just let it go. I want to share it on my personal page. All right. Here we go. All right, welcome for everyone that's on. If you give me like 30 seconds, I'm going to get this thing going. All right, finally figured it out. I'm still new to this live streaming stuff. All right. Oh, you might see me with my little rag. Anybody that know me when I'm nervous, my hands start sweating. So, all right. So let me go ahead and get started. I like to respect folks' time. Thanks for popping on to the live. This is actually the third part of a 4-part series. Today we are going to be talking about the purpose of a marketing strategy. Okay. My Pandora's still going. I tried to set the mood with a little smooth jazz. I don't know if y'all could hear that. Could y'all hear it when y'all first came on? All right, so just a little bit about me. If you do not know me, my name is Rochelle Ledrington. I am the owner of V-Pro Marketing and Sales. I started my company in 2016, and probably for about 2 years now, I've been doing more consulting work. So basically what I do is I offer online support to service-based businesses and nonprofits. I show them how to improve their online marketing strategy and their processes so they can attract their ideal client and stakeholders. Okay, so that's ultimately what I do. But 2016, I had to start, decided to start my company because I wanted to do something that was that would fit my lifestyle, the lifestyle that I wanted. Right. At that time, I had my first child. I have 2 children, a 2 and a 4-year-old. And my first child, she was about 9 months old, and I just realized for the type of mother I wanted to be, I needed to be able to do something, right, that I can be around and be present. So entrepreneurship has always been in my blood. But the main reason why I really decided to, transfer my 10 years of marketing sales experience into my own venture is because when I was working as a contractor for a couple different clients, I realized that there was a common problem that a lot of small businesses have. And when I say small businesses, it's really, small businesses have this problem, but even more so like solopreneurs, people that have a business, right, but they might not have like employees, so they're doing a lot of the things themselves. The common problem that I noticed is that obviously they wanted more clients, right, more revenue. But the gap was they didn't have the proper marketing, pieces in place. And also they didn't have the processes that will be able to handle, an influx of revenue. And after working with this one particular client, it was a partnership, but I can't say they were solopreneurs, but they were individuals. Pretty much they had developed a system connecting the marketing and sales to where they were able to handle more online clients and getting online clients. And from that point, I realized that, OMG, there is a great opportunity for me to share what I know with other small businesses and helping them to learn, pretty much what I'm going to talk about today, the power of having a marketing strategy. All right, so that's just a little about me and my company. Welcome for anyone that just joined. Ashley, I see you. Welcome. So if you're joining and you're planning to stay around, announce yourself, because I promise you, if we were together in a room, this would be like call and response. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. But I know we're on the live, but let me know you're there. You can talk to me. It's okay. As I mentioned, so today we're going to talk about a little bit about the purpose of having a marketing strategy. What I want to start out with is pretty much marketing 101. Before I really get into the nitty gritty, I kind of want to cover a couple terms that you've heard but may not understand, like where it fits in your business, right? Or what to do with it. So a marketing strategy is pretty much a guide that shows you, what marketing efforts are needed to reach, additional or new clients and stakeholders. A marketing strategy should be done before any real actual work is put in, okay? It's pretty much like the foundation for all your campaigns and your activities, all right? So a marketing strategy entails like your overall business goals. It entails marketing goals, your target audience, your personas, et cetera, right? Things like that. The next term I want you to understand is a marketing plan. A marketing plan is the roadmap. It's the roadmap that shows you how you are going to execute the marketing strategy, okay? So typically it's going to entail like your campaign goals, the timeline, when you want to get it done, right? What channels you're going to use, as well as the budget. What is it going to take to, master this plan? That is your marketing plan. Then you have marketing tactics. Your marketing tactics are basically the actions that direct the promotion of your service or your product, okay? So it'll look like a marketing tactic. It's like email, social media, blogging, sponsorships, live streaming, things like that. Though that is marketing tactics. So it's really important as we go through this today, you're going to understand why it's important to understand which one is which and when to use which. I'm going to just get into it so you can understand what I mean, okay? So basically, your marketing tactics are there to support your marketing plan. Your marketing plan supports your marketing strategy, and your marketing strategy supports your overall business goals. So we're done with Marketing 101 school. Does that make sense? Please type a yes or a no, or help me understand it a little bit better. I'm going to keep going until I see somebody type, but speak to me. Once again, for anyone that just joined, we're talking about the purpose of having a marketing strategy. I got to take a sip. I don't know what is going on today. Hey, Miss Deb, welcome. I see you. All right, so and make sure that this don't fall. Okay, so one of the things that I noticed that people use marketing tactics with no real end game. Okay, it's not attached to like an overall goal. There's no plan or strategy. I commonly see people use this with social media. So they'll post on social media, like they're in their mind, they're like, okay, I'm going to do marketing for my nonprofit or for my business, right? So I'm just going to push information out there on social media. All right. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you. I'm glad it makes sense. So, social media is a tactic, right? If you don't have the plan or the strategy, when you're just putting in those actions, you might get to a point and say, I'm not understanding why I'm putting in the effort. I'm doing my best to get it out there. Why isn't it helping me to reach my overall business goal? A lot of people, what they're doing is they're spending all their time on the tactic when they have no plan or strategy in place. That is the reason why so many people are getting into online marketing and they're not seeing the results that they need. It is, I always tell people this, Stephen Covey, which book was it? I don't know if it's oh my gosh, Stephen Covey, The Habits of, anyway, we're going to come back to that. I'm going to have to post that. But anyway, hey, Miss Deb. Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you. I appreciate you. So Stephen Covey, it was a book that I read. I'm going to find the title and I'll post it because it's a really good book. But one of the things he said in this book that is stuck with me is you have to start with the end in mind. You start with the end in mind. With so many people, when they spend that time on just social media trying to market their business, that's not the end. The end, if you're talking about marketing in your business, the end is, how am I going to get that client, right? So if people are posting on social media, and once again, I'm just using this as an example, with no call to action, like you're not telling them to do something or to go somewhere, put it bluntly, you're wasting your time. Okay, you're wasting your time. And I put up my glasses, you know how when your grandmama or somebody, they put down the glasses when they got something serious to say, all right? You're wasting your time, and I want to stop there because it's just disheartening with the knowledge that I know and what I see. So many people, they have this passion, they have this goal. There's so many people that they want to touch, but they're putting into action, but the action is not connected with the overall mission, right? Thank you, Yolanda. You're the bomb.com. 7 habits of the highly effective people. Yes, thank you. Hey, Miss Marsha, welcome. So that phrase that says start with the end in mind, it comes from that book. If you haven't read it, read it. It is superb. If you don't like read it, get it on audio. It's by Stephen Covey. Thank you, Yolanda. You're the bomb. Okay, so when we talk about, so if you're just joining us, we're talking about the purpose of having a marketing strategy. And the biggest problem that we see, as I'm talking about now, is people don't have a marketing strategy and they spend so much time on marketing tactics, and it's not connected to an overall strategy that can impact your business. So that is the biggest, I guess you could say, challenge that I see people make when it comes to, not having a marketing strategy. I witnessed that because of so many people make this mistake, they find themselves working harder because they don't have a marketing strategy, right? They not only are they putting the efforts in just one pot without having anything to measure it, but then they start to measure the wrong metrics. And I'm gonna give you an example. So if someone says, I'm gonna start marketing my business or my nonprofit, and I'm gonna focus on social media. First and foremost, and we talked about this last week, so many people just decide, I'm gonna do all the platforms, right? When one, your ideal client might not even be on those platforms, on all of the platforms. So one, you need to focus your time and be on the right platform. But then two, if you are only on a platform or, involving yourself in the marketing tactic and you don't have a strategy, how are you measuring if it's working? Okay, if you can't measure if it's working, then it's, once again, you're wasting your time and effort. And with so many people being, as I mentioned in the beginning, a lot of solopreneurs, a lot of, smaller businesses that may not have a lot of employees, a lot of times the executive directors, the founders, the owners, we're wearing multiple hats. We don't have time to waste. So, if you want to, pretty much maximize your times and maximize your efforts and see a better result, my recommendation is always start with a plan, start with a strategy, okay? When you think about having a marketing strategy, your marketing strategy should include, my nose is itching. Your marketing strategy should include, who are you targeting? What are you offering? How do you intend to offer, or how do you intend to get what you're offering to your ideal client, right? To your audience? What is the overall marketing and sales goal? And then, like I just mentioned, how are you going to measure it? So there are a few tools that we talked about for a couple of weeks. So as I mentioned, this is the part 3 of the 4-part series. The first part was talking about the importance of online marketing. And if you have signed up to receive the worksheets that are attached to these trainings, you will know that if you've done them as well, you'll see how everything is coming together, okay? And the first part 1, the importance of online marketing, that came with the SWOT analysis. We talked about doing a marketing SWOT analysis. That tool can help you to identify your strengths and where you can place your energy. So when you're beginning to put together your marketing strategy, you already have some idea, right? After looking at what you're doing well and what's not working, then you know where to put your energies. That's going to help you to fuel your marketing strategy. The other tool that I provided with part 2, last week when we talked about how to find your ideal client, right? How to spend more time with your ideal client. That came with the client profile worksheet. If you have not received these worksheets and you want to have access, the easiest way to do it, I guess there's 2 easy ways to do it. One is you can text GROW with VPRO, GROWWITH VPRO. One day I'm going to get a sign so I can just flash it like boom, Growth V Pro, text to 4848. I'm gonna print that off next week. Don't charge me. But if you text that to 484848, that is going to sign you up to receive notifications whenever I have, free tools, resources, trainings, and webinars that you can benefit from. You'll know you did it correctly if as soon as you text it, you get another text that's saying, hey, are you a for-profit or a nonprofit? One of the biggest things with this is a learning nugget as well. One of the things with marketing, you always want to make sure that you're giving information to the right people. Can I go back on your page for pastors? Yes, Miss Deb. You can go on. I decided just to keep all the videos up until I'm done with the series. So yes, you can go back, and then you can also as soon as you sign up, and what I'll start doing. You just gave me an idea for anyone that just signed up. I'll make sure in the text link that it has the previous links for the worksheets. Okay, so that should be able to help. But you could text that, or if it's easier for you to just inbox me your name and your name, number, and email, I'll make sure that you're added so you'll stay notified. And I promise you, I'm big on not spamming, with marketing. I want to practice what I preach. I want to make sure if you're a nonprofit, you're getting nonprofit information. If you're for-profit, you're getting for-profit information, okay? So, I encourage all of you to do the same. When you start identify your ideal, we talked about this last week, so go back. When you know your target audience and your different personas, you know who needs to receive what. Okay, but last week when we did the client profile, it helped you to identify who you were targeting so you can spend your time with the people that's willing to pay you. Okay, last time we talked about the discount Danny's. I can't wait till you guys go back and watch it. We had a good time. But those two tools are going to help you to build a strong marketing strategy. Okay, so I want to talk about 5 reasons why you should have a marketing strategy. All right. One is, it's going to help you to set goals. It's going to help you to set goals and bring clarity. All right. So I'm going to ask a question. I know there's a lag, so I'm going to keep going, but I would love to hear from you guys. I am just curious. Is there anyone else on here that is a business owner, executive director, anything, right? Anything of those sorts that have this, I call it the too many thoughts syndrome, right? Like I have this knack, I guess you could say, this challenge where I have all these ideas, great ideas, and sometimes I find myself doing all the ideas and I'm strayed so far away from what the initial goal was. So when you have a marketing strategy, it helps you to stay focused. It helps you to be clear, right? So if you have that challenge, let me know I'm not alone in this entrepreneurship game, So when you have a strategy, it's going to help you to set goals. The other thing is going to help you to allocate your resources, which will help you to create a solid budget. When you know exactly where you should be spending your time, it helps you to identify, 1, if you're spending money and time on things that's not producing, and then 2, what you should be spending your time on that's going to help you get greater results. Okay. So the third, did I count right? Yeah. So the third one, it would also help you to measure success. So a strong strategy is not only going to tell you, where you should be spending your time, but it's also going to let you know, okay, if you're spending your time with email marketing, what should be, as we call in the email word, your click-through rate, like the call to action. How many people are opening? How many people are, clicking it and taking an action? There's benchmarks for every online marketing tool. This is the reason why I absolutely love online marketing compared to traditional marketing. Traditional marketing still has its place, right? But online marketing, if you really want to make sure that the time you put in and your efforts you put in, it's going to, put you in the right direction and help you to save time and money, you have to keep your eye on your metrics, right? Online marketing is going to tell you in real time if what you're doing is working or not, right? So having a strategy is going to help you with that. The other thing, the fourth reason why you should have a marketing strategy is that it will help you to understand what's needed, what's needed to implement the strategy. So I've talked to a number of people that said they've had a strategy in the past, or they've gotten strategies and they got it and they're like, okay, I don't know what to do, right? I think one of the biggest things that, could be a challenge for some is someone telling you what to do, and then it's like, okay, what's the how? So when you have a strategy, and hopefully you're working with a right person that can either show you the how, do the how, or connect you with somebody to do the how, right? But when you know what needs to be done and you sit and analyze it, then you can say, okay, one, what can I delegate? Right? What can I delegate? What can I get someone else on my team to do? Because I know this needs to be done to help us with the overall marketing or sales goal, right? The other thing is, what can I automate? I think I'm gonna do a session on automation. There's so many things that small businesses can automate that will free up time. But if you would like to learn about different things in your business you can automate, type yes, do it, Ro. Let me know, because I'll add that to the list of things I'll do in the upcoming weeks. But there's so many things you can actually automate in your business that can help you save time, right? A strategy will help you to identify what things can I automate. The other thing is, it'll help you think about what can I outsource. Outsource meaning like, what can I hire someone outside of my business to do? You know, in my personal opinion, I think the best times to outsource things is when no one on your staff can do it efficiently. You can't do it efficiently, or maybe you just don't have the time or knowledge to do it efficiently. That is my personal opinion when it's time to outsource, because you have an overall goal to get it done. So that is the fourth reason why a marketing strategy is important. And then lastly, the fifth is to improve your marketing focus and consistency. When all the other components are put in place and you're able to stay focused, you're able to measure, you're able to outsource, delegate, or get it implemented, right? It's going to help you to stay consistent. All right, it's going to help you to stay consistent. So if you have already joined, as I call the Grow with V Pro community, right? You would have received today around 12 noon. So I'll bring it close. So this is today's worksheet. Today's worksheet is the marketing tactics analysis. All right, so add it, Ro. Okay, so you want me to do something on automation? All right, so I'll make sure I do that. But thank you, Ms. Deb. So the marketing tactics analysis is going to just a very quick, simple self-analysis based on, you know, what you're currently doing. So on this worksheet, at the top, it's going to have you write down what your goal is. All right, whether it be your overall goal, your marketing goal, or sales goal, whatever you are currently working on. All right, and then it's going to ask you to write down what are the different marketing tactics that you're using. So marketing examples, again, examples of marketing tactics, it could be sponsorships, case studies, webinars, blogging, email, social media, paid ads, online directories. There's like over 100 plus marketing tactics that businesses can use. Whatever you're currently using, jot it down on that sheet, okay? And then you want to identify, is it working, yes or no? So if it's a no, then if it's only you, don't do it. If it's working, figure out how it's, figure out, let me back up. If it is working, continue to do that, okay? If it's not working, there's an additional step that I didn't add to the sheet that I would personally do. If it's not working, and you also did you went back from the first live that we did, and we did a SWOT analysis, the marketing SWOT analysis. We talked about the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. If you realize that there's something that's not working, but that's needed in your business based on where your clients are, like it's an opportunity, right? That is where you want to spend your time and learn how to get better. Right? If it's something that you're doing that your ideal client is not even on that platform, or that is the biggest thing, honestly. Your ideal client is not on that platform, you need to just stop doing it. Don't waste your time, okay? So on this worksheet, you'll have that. And then at the end, it'll just ask, are you satisfied with your marketing efforts? So, a lot of these worksheets, I try to simplify things just so you can start thinking, right? Start thinking about what you should be doing. All right, welcome for anyone that's just joining. We're talking about the purpose of marketing strategy. We're kind of wrapping up now, but feel free, I'm going to leave this up for the replay, so feel free to look at it again. But pretty much the marketing tactics is going to help you to identify, where you're currently spending your time, and is that where you should be spending your time. If you do not have a marketing strategy and that's something you want to, put in place for your business, that is what I do, okay? I'll tell you this. What I do is a little bit different than what some people do. And I'll explain it because I really don't talk about this a lot, and I should, and it's crazy because sometimes, I do what a lot of us business owners do. I don't always talk about myself, like what I do, what makes me different. And that's something that, I need to improve. So I'm going to do this right now, right? Lead by example. If you do your research and you start looking at what is a marketing strategy, what is a marketing plan, things like that, right? What I've decided to do is take the important elements from the marketing strategy and the marketing plan, right? And I create something that I call internally with my business. I call it an SMC plan, a sales marketing, SMC strategy, a sales, marketing, and content strategy, okay? I don't know if I mentioned in the beginning of this live, but my ultimate goal, because I see a need for so many small businesses just needing that extra nudge, that extra support, that extra knowledge on how can I do better with my marketing so I can see the revenue, see the clients that I make, my goal is to bring you that information in a simplified way. Because with me being in this industry, and I'm like my brain is very strategic. I could connect the dots. I realize so many people overcomplicate simple things. And I say this all the time. I believe people do that. Industries do that as what we call as an entry barrier. They want to keep people out of it so they can make more money. I get it. But for me and what my passion is, hey, Basil, welcome. Hey, Derek, Dad. welcome. But for me, like my mission is really to help more small business owners to master marketing, strengthen their sales, to leave a legacy. People get into business because they want to leave a legacy, right? So, my whole goal is to really simplify overcomplicated concepts. So my SMC strategy, or you also hear me just call it a digital marketing strategy, not only do I take those components that matter the most to like solopreneurs or entrepreneurs or like the smaller businesses, right? But I combine it in a way that is taking some of a marketing strategy, some of those components. Then it also has a lot of the marketing plan, as we talked about in the beginning. The marketing plan, or is the roadmap. How are you going to get from A to B? But then I throw in an additional concept, is content. As I talked about on some of the previous lives, is the methodology that I base my business on is inbound marketing. Inbound marketing is all about attracting your ideal client, right? And you do that by utilizing something called content marketing. It's sharing information that's valuable to your target audience. So when I put together an online marketing strategy for clients, I am not only including some components of a typical marketing strategy, I'm including a lot of components of a marketing plan, because we need to get into action, right? We are trying to grow our business, right? All right. But I also include, what content best resonates with your ideal client or your ideal persona. So I include all of that in there, because once again, I don't want to just tell you what to do and you're like, okay, this is great, this looks pretty and all, but what can I say? How can I say it? What do I share? I get a lot of people that I work with, they know a lot. They're like super brilliant, but they just don't know how to extract what they know. My strength is tell me what you do, and I promise you, I'm going to show you how you can take what you know, in a sense, and monetize it. That's basically what it is, right? Taking what you know to attract your ideal client. And then once you're attracting them, how to get them from the awareness stage to the stage that they're ready to do business with you. So my strategy is not just the marketing strategy. It's not just the marketing plan. It is a hybrid of all of that with the basis, the foundation of content marketing. I hope that makes sense. Does that make any type of sense to you all? So that's just a little bit about what I do and how I help my clients, but I want to thank you all for popping in. We're it's about 2:30, so I'm doing pretty good. But I want to open the floor up, for any questions. Please feel free to drop your question. No question is, too small or too big. If you don't feel comfortable, feel free to inbox me, but I would love to chat with you right here, because I have about 15 more minutes in my schedule if you guys want to chat. But any question, like what is a marketing strategy, or, I do this, what would you recommend, or whatever, maybe let's chat, because in my personal opinion, We're living in this arena right now where so many people are getting on, lives and doing webinars. Like, all of that has been there, but it has spiked. If I were you, and I'm doing this myself, if I were you, I would take this time to consume as much information from the people that are strong in their field, because you don't have to pay for it if they're on a live. Boom, okay? So if you have any questions, ask me now, because I'm gonna just give you, once again, let's go back to business 101. If you're going to someone for help and they're in a service-based field, their time is their money. So when they're saying, hey, pick my brain right now at no cost, do that. Because if you try to say, hey, I want to talk to you, you're probably only getting a little bit of time that's free, and then the rest of the time you want some instruction, you're gonna have to pay him. You're gonna have to pay me, because that's how I get paid. That's what my business is based off, right? So, Karima, welcome. Elaine, Mama, welcome. All right, Samantha. Hey, Samantha. So how can we get the confidence to attract the possible candidates? How can we get the confidence to attract the possible candidates? All right, so I really feel, I'm going to ask you, Samantha, if you can elaborate a little bit, like, what do you mean, right? But I'm going to start based off what I think you mean. So I'm gonna start one with confidence, okay? The biggest thing is, and I've dealt with this, I'm speaking from experience, when you really just sit back and understand your why, okay? Why am I going into business? Why do I feel like I can help someone, right? Once you understand their why, one, identify the why. And then two, identify what problem are you helping that individual. All right, you don't know how to explain. Okay, so Samantha, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to continue to address this the best way I can. If that doesn't help, inbox me, okay? I know you personally, so, you can inbox me. Also, I'll say that I do have free 15-minute consultations. So if you ever want to just chat about business and how, what can work, let me know. But the first thing you should understand, that, like I said, is your why. You got to understand your why. Once you I'm hot and sweating, Lord. Once you identify your why, then you take a look at what audience are you trying to help. What problem are you solving for them? All right. Once you identify what problem you're solving for them, how is that going to get them closer to their goal? All right. So, and I'm going to give an example. Let's see if I could come up with something. I always use real estate agents. I don't know why. So let's just say you want to get into real estate. Okay. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go to these classes. I'm going to learn this, but I need to develop this confidence to do it. Like, I want to do it, but I don't feel confident. Right. Right now, why do you want to get into real estate? Maybe it's like, you know what, I just bought my home and I'm about to make up this whole scenario, right? This is why it's important to know your ideal client. So if you haven't done this, Samantha, go and watch part 2, because this would help. But let's say you know your ideal client. I just bought my home, and it was really, really difficult. Me and my, husband, if you're married, me and my husband had a really hard time finding it, and it was very difficult finding it in an area with, for my kids to have a great education. Not to mention, like, we had a lot of financial hurdles. Like, it was so much that I learned during that process that I did not know. Like, I could have bought my house sooner. Let's say that was your situation, right? And you want to get into real estate. If your why for that scenario would be, I want to get into real estate and I want to show other families some of the things that I learned and help them to understand that they can buy a house sooner than they think. Okay. How is that going to help them overcome their problem? One, maybe their problem is, they're currently living in a house with their parents, right? So it's going to give them the space to have, so their kids, they roam freely. They can have more of those intimate times with their spouses, Like, I am just running through an example right now. When you walk through, in a sense, the process of your ideal client, and you understand, like, their challenges, their pain points, your job, your business then becomes like a mission. Like, I'm like, right now, what I'm selling you is a house. But what I'm really selling you is I'm just telling you hope. I'm selling you the ability to rekindle that relationship with your husband. I'm selling you the ability to show your kids what it's like to live in a house by yourself, of your own. What I'm really selling you is wealth building. What I'm really selling you is, how to build assets. You get what I'm saying? Samantha, what I recommend, I know that's long-winded, but it's deep. Walk through the process. When you walk through the process of what you're really doing for your ideal client, I promise you, write that down, keep that up when you start feeling not feeling confident, and it's going to remind you. And I'm speaking from experience because like I said, I know a lot, but there's a lot of stuff that comes easy for me. And I'm like, okay, anybody can learn as well. After talking to a lot of people, everybody thinks differently, how we process things differently, right? So I know everybody's brain does not connect things the way mine does. And that is like my superpower. Like all of us have superpowers. When you identify your superpower, or as they say in, the marketing business world, your competitive edge or your competitive advantage, that's what's going to give you your confidence. Whew, Samantha, I know that was long-winded, honey. Did that make any type of sense for you? All right. So I think I have about 5 to 6 more minutes. Did anybody have any other questions? I know it's a lag. So I just want to let you know that next week is the last part of this series. The topic for that one is how to stop pitching and start connecting. And basically that's all we're going to talk about sales. I think I might do something special next week for anyone that's willing to like get bold and like truly interact and do like a sales, what do they call it? I forgot. Goodness. Role play. I'll think about that. But my goal for next week is really to give you some tips on stop pitching. When I started doing this series, every time I said stop pitching, I start laughing, right? Because technically what I really want to say, but I don't really curse, and anyone that hear me curse, they're like, Ro, please stop it, because that's not you. If you take the P out and put a B, right? People may stop, And what I decided to do a series on that because so many people in business, they complain about like, oh, I can't get, all right, let me not do that. That's not nice. They be like, oh, I can't get any clients, or, I don't know why don't nobody want to buy from me. And I come from a sales background where you got to have grit. You have to have, thick skin. You have to be willing to take a no and say, you know what, it may not be for you, but next, so on. I read a book by Richard Benton. It's called Go for No. And it's all about, how many no's does it take for you to get to a yes. In business, everything is about the numbers. Like if hey, I got to go through 50 no's to get a yes, then you know what you need to do. You need to start talking to people. And don't wait till you get to that 20th no and get discouraged and say, oh my gosh, no one likes my product. It might not be that good. It must be me. No, people aren't always going to want what you do. So my goal next week is really to address that, help people to really dissect sales in a sense, so you can understand that you got to be willing to do the work, put in the work. As Miss Julia Mallory always say, if anyone knows her, she says, do your work. So we're going to talk about that as it relates to sales in your business next week. That's going to be June 4th at 2 p.m. If you would like the worksheet that is attached to that, be sure to text. Next week I'm going to have a sign. Grow with VPRO. GROWWITH to 484848. Grow with VPRO is all one word. You'll know you did it right if you get a message that says, are you a nonprofit or for-profit? As I mentioned, sometimes I do things that's specifically for nonprofits, and then some things are specifically for for-profits. So I want to make sure that I only share with you the things that's important to you and your business. All right. So we're wrapping up. I'm pretty much done. I don't see that anyone has any questions. How was the live this week? Was it valuable? You let me know. Say, I loved it, Ro. I liked it, Ro. It needs more work, Ro. Whatever it may be, talk to me. But as I mentioned, If this is your first time joining, feel free. I'm going to leave the other lives up until next week. The first one, once again, was the importance of online marketing, came with the SWOT analysis worksheet. The second one was identifying your ideal client, which came with the client profile worksheet. This time we talked about the purpose of a marketing strategy, and it came with your beautiful marketing tactics analysis worksheet. If you want to get all of this, once again, text GROW with VPRO, all one word, to 484848, and you receive that. But I don't see that anyone has any questions. As I say all the time, until next time, let's continue to grow. I hope you were inspired to transform something in your business. Have a wonderful week. See ya.